What's up, guys? Welcome back to another weekly outlook. This is gonna be for the YouTube and for Discord. Soon these weekly outlooks are gonna be exclusive towards only the Discord. Until then, I'm gonna keep sending them out to the YouTube to you guys so you guys can see and stuff like that. Because I mean, there's no one on the Discord right now because I haven't launched it. Still working on it, still setting up all the channels and everything like that. But this little weekly outlooks will be only exclusive to the Discord, so enjoy them while they're here right now. But basically, I'm trying to keep this video short so I can get it out to you guys as fast as possible, so it's not a lot of time. And then because if it's long, then I'm gonna have to wait till like Monday or Tuesday to try to get it out. So I'm trying to make it at least under 30 minutes, like max is 30 minutes. So we're gonna get straight into it. I got some markets lined up, and I'm gonna just go over a basic overview of what I see and what I'm looking for, and stuff like that. You guys know how this works. So the first market we're gonna start off with is Euro AUD. I don't know if you guys seen it already, but we do have a reaccumulation on Euro AUD. We broke structure on this high, and we're just continuing to the upside. I talked about this in one of my past weekend outlooks. I don't know if it was the one last week or the one before, but we were talking about this reaccumulation area right here. If I go ahead and mark this out, this area right here was a reaccumulation here. So this was my last demand area that I was looking for, because if you really look at it, let's go back to the 4 hour. This was our last down move. So this was our last area where some type of institutions got in to try to sell, to buy. This was our last area before we broke this high right here. So right here is our slingshot demand. Okay, right here is our actual demand, but right here is our slingshot demand. So this is gonna be the first area we look at, and we got a pretty good reaction here. If you go on lower time frames, it's not the best price action on the lower time frame. So I haven't actually gotten an entry yet, because this is literally Asian. It's like that spike from Asian that happens like every day, and it was unfortunate that it came in here during that time. But I'm still monitoring this. You feel I'm saying? I'm still waiting to see something. What I would like to see here, to be honest, I'd like to see the market come back down and take this low out. That's what I like to see. Not all the way down here, but at least try to take this low out, or come retest that low. Do something right to that low, because I don't like that low being there. You feel what I'm saying? So basically, we're gonna wait for type of entries inside of here, inside this whole range from this high to this low. So anywhere inside of here, any entry you can find, if it's clear, go ahead and take it. And where first targets is gonna be a new high, of course, and then this right here. If I zoom out, this right here is a redistribution up here, and this is a demand zone up here. So demand zone. If I go to the daily time frame, hold on. To the daily time frame, you see it. This is a demand zone over here. This is just a refined area inside of that area, but this is gonna be my main target for buy. So I'm just buying this until we get up here. All right, because this is our full structure to the downside. This is our full leg to the downside. Okay, all of these inside of here are just redistribution. So this is gonna be our main supply up here, but this is actual supply area that hasn't been tested yet. So this one is my first target, and we're gonna see what the market does there, and we're just gonna go from there. But this is just my first target overall of this market. All right, so that's it for Euro AUD. If we go next into Euro USD, man, Euro USD. I don't know if you guys was trading Thursday, Friday, but there was a lot of manipulations on those days, man. The market, the banks are trying to take out everybody, bro. Like, the amount of manipulations that went around here was crazy. But one thing I do notice on Euro USD right now, we did come into a 4 hour demand area, okay? And I have it marked out as yellow here, the 4 hour point of interest. We came into this little candle right here that was a reaccumulation. If you see it, those who are familiar with Wyckoff, you can tell this is a reaccumulation. You can see the creek that's inside of here, and then the move above. So this is a reaccumulation. This is the shakeout of the reaccumulation. So this was a little area of demand. Okay. One thing I do like about this, like I was saying before, is how slowly the market is getting into this area. What we can notice here, for those who've trade Forex and trade structure, and you realize stuff like this, you can see that the momentum to the downside is starting to slow down. What I mean by that is look at the candles compared to up here, right? These long sell candles versus the sell candles that's coming down into this area. You can see that the buy candles are getting more volume than the sell candles are. And that's one thing that I'm noticing here is how the market is just slowly just slowing down. So I wouldn't be surprised if, we start seeing breaks of highs like this. Once I start seeing this high and then this high, once this high right here, this is the most important high that I want to see get broken here, because I know this was our last accurate level of supply, then I'll be looking for buys to the upside. And then this is going to be my next target. And once this is broken, then we're up here. All right. So that's basically what I want to see here. If not, if this area gets broken to the downside, then we're possibly going to come test something inside of here, because we got to remember we're still inside of this daily leg. All right. So let me delete all of this. But that's basically what I see in EURUSD right now. There's nothing clear right now. If you go on lower time frame, it's just a bunch of mess. The market did try to accumulate, but it was on Friday, and we knew that wasn't gonna last, so there was no point in taking that. But just pay attention to EURUSD. We don't know when it's gonna move, but you don't want to miss it when it moves, because it moves. All right. So hold on. That's it for EURUSD. Let's go to AUD JPY. Okay, AUD JPY. Man. All right, so AUD JPY, we're bearish on the 4 hour. All right. These little things right here is where I use my little little circles to define, like, the structure and everything like that. One thing I did notice on not Euro, but AUD JPY, is this right here is an overall reaccumulation. So as you know, reaccumulation, accumulations, distributions, redistributions are denoted as supply and demand. Okay, it's obvious. Those are true supply and demand zones, as I explained before in my previous videos. All right, so this right here is a demand zone, and the market accumulated inside this demand zone. Okay, so we had accumulation down here. I didn't want to draw it out, but the market reacted inside of here. It reacted inside of this test of the shakeout of the reaccumulation here, and it didn't break the test of the shakeout, so we know this is valid. Okay, so if I go down to the 1 hour, we had a pretty good accumulation here. I'm not gonna lie, we had a pretty good accumulation. It was a type 2, but one problem I did have with this is where I was looking for entries at, we had a seconds time frame accumulation down here. Now, some people can't, but some people can see it. Inside of here was a seconds time frame accumulation. Now, I don't have the seconds time frame, but it was there. The accumulation was there. During this time I wasn't up. This was during London Open. You remember we talked about the time zone as well. It's key, guys. So it was, whoever caught that, you got a pretty good RR from that. I don't know if anyone did, but you got a pretty good RR. I did not catch this. I wasn't up at this time. So it is what it is. But what I am looking at here is we're going to continue following the structure, okay? Even so, we did react off of demand zone, which is good. All right, which is good. So we're still going to follow the current structure that we're playing off of. You feel what I'm saying? This was a good reaction off of that demand zone, but doesn't mean we changed our whole overall view of this, okay? So basically, we know this is our last 4 hour high, created this low, right? I didn't want to mark out this low because I didn't want it to be too messy, okay? But let's get into it. All right, so we have this 45-minute slingshot candle here that is inside of this redistribution. This whole area is a redistribution, okay? And the reason I marked out this area, because this area was the last reaction here before we came down. So this is our slingshot, okay? This is our last buy before the sell. Just like your AUD is opposite. So this is our slingshot area. And I can tell this is our slingshot area because we're slowing down while coming into this area. All right, we're creating lows and we're not taking no liquidity. We're creating so much liquidity below this market here. All right, we're creating so much liquidity. It's acting like what's it called? It's acting like your USD right now, but the opposite side. So these little pink dots that you see, this is just internal structure on the lower time frames that I'm looking at right now. And basically what I'm waiting for one of these lows to be broken, one of these lows to be violated. I don't want one of these lows to be violated yet, though. I want us to come here, and tap into this area and then violate a low, and I'll take a sell and go down. All right. Now, if that happens, correct, I'm gonna explain to you guys the scenarios that I see here. All right. So that first scenario is the ideal scenario that I'm looking for because we're already up here. Right. So that's the ideal scenario I'm looking for. I'm looking for us to react inside this area. You know, give me a little entry, and I'll take it to down here. This is gonna be my first area that I'm looking at. So this area, this slingshot, and this area here, these two key demand areas, because this is just my slingshot. This right here is my demand. I didn't mark it out, but you see this blue line? This is where I was looking for a limit entry. The market just left, so I deleted this entry, but this is still a valid area. Okay, so these two areas is where I'm going to look at. So if we get this sell, this area and this area are key areas now, because these two areas would determine whether this demand over here is going to hold or not. Right? So let me go back to the high time frame. That's going to determine whether this demand is going to hold or it's not going to hold. All right? So that's the situation we're working with. And that's the ideal scenario here. Because if the market comes down first, that's not realistic to me. That's not realistic to me. If I'm saying, like, I don't see that happening, because this right here needs to be mitigated. If I go on the lower time frame, you'll see why. But this right here kind of needs to be mitigated. It doesn't have to, but I mean, it's the best ideal scenario here. I mean, if it does end up breaking this area, right? If we do end up breaking this area here, that's cool. We have another demand right here. Right, this is just a slingshot. All right, so we have another demand over here. I didn't mark it out, but it's there. You feel what I'm saying? We have another demand up there, and that's what we waited for. And if this whole thing ends up breaking, right? Hold on. And if we end up breaking, completely breaking structure, then we know that this demand on the left that we reacted off of is valid, and now we'll be shifting towards the upside. That's all. That's simple as that. And we'll be looking for buys towards the upside. Even if, listen, what I want you to do, what I want you to listen to, even if, right, we break this redistribution out here, most likely we're going to react here and create a reaccumulation. That's most likely, that's what happens. We just create a reaccumulation. All right. So if we create a reaccumulation here, as I said before in my demand and supply area, this supply will now be turned into demand. So we just buy here, go to the upside, and then we wait for reactions here. If this area ends up holding and we get a distro, that's cool. We trade a distro and we come here. Now we let the market decide where it wants to go. We have buys here, we have sells here. Now, no matter where the market goes, we're in, right? So that's how you would play that. That's how you would play that situation right there. Okay. Just let the market do its thing. All right. Don't try to do too much. Just, mark out your areas and let the market do its thing. Let the market do its thing. It's going to show you where it wants to go every single time. All right. But that's basically what I see here on ADJPY. Let's move on to GJ. Now, GJ kind of did the same thing, kind of like ADJPY. We accumulated. All the JPY pairs kind of accumulated last week, but all of them kind of accumulated. I was looking for these entries. It's just the timing of them wasn't right for me. But GJ kind of did the same thing, and the thing about GJ is we're currently inside of an area. Hold on, let me go back to this. I gotta add an alert here. Yeah, I forgot to add an alert. All right. So thing about GJ is actually inside of an area of supply. And basically what I'll be waiting for here, I already marked out the lower time frame lows and highs. I'm not selling this until I see what London session does. Okay, I'm not taking no entries here. I want to see what London session does first, and I'm gonna react off of whatever happens. If we get a distro up here, I'll take the distro. Whatever happens, but I want to see what London session does first. Okay. This is a 2-hour supply area, but just watch out for this. Okay, just watch out for it. And then we're bearish on GJ. So like I said, it was kind of the same scenario as ADJPY. I'll be looking for sales here and I'll be looking for buys here. You know, if this ends up failing, it most likely will be a reaccumulation, and I'll take the reaccumulation to the upside until I hear. All right, so there's no complicating it. The only thing, the difference is that GJ kind of did not react inside of a demand as ADJPY did. That's the only difference here. So I mean, but they're kind of the same. All right, USDJPY. All right, so thing about USDJPY is we reaccumulated here. Okay, we reaccumulated here, and then we came up and we sort of kind of reaccumulated here. But the difference between this reaccumulation, why I didn't mark anything out here but I did here, is because this reaccumulation doesn't have as much of a as confluence as this one does. This reaccumulation caused us to break this 1 hour structure high here. And that's why I'm more focused on this one than this one. Like, I'll look into this one to see, you know, if something happens, but I'm more inclined to go to this one. And the impulse towards this one was just way better. The timing was better. Like, it was just, this area is just a better area. That's why I have this area still marked out. And then, of course, we have our 30-minute point of interest, which I believe I talked about in the previous one. There was a little, you know, distribution here that happened inside of this slingshot of the previous leg. Let me go down. You know, the previous leg, there was a slingshot here, and we reacted here. We created distribution. So I'll be looking for sells. My bad. I'll be looking for sales here and buys here. Be careful right here, okay? Be careful. I'll just say be careful right here. This is not, you know, a very high confluence area that I'll be looking into, because this is all Asian session. All right, so I mean, I'm more inclined to go over here. So that's all I'd say. Just be careful with that. Let's get into our next list. Let me see. Chf Jpy. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, Chf Jpy. Ooh. So we know our higher time frame leg is from this low to this high. All right, that's all we need to know. We're bullish on higher time frame. Cool. Now we know our 4 hour little structure is from this high to this low. Cool, right? Okay, like I said, on all the JPY pairs we accumulated last week. We had this accumulation. Unfortunately, this accumulation didn't come to the area that I was looking at, but we did accumulate. All right, and we have this point of interest here. I'm waiting for a sale here. Whatever happens here, I'm waiting to see what happens here during London. We get a sale, we get a distribution, I'll take it. You feel what I'm saying? If this area ends up holding and we get a, you know, reaccumulation, then I'll take it, right? I'll take it to the upside. That means that we're going to break this high and we're going to take out this high and we're going to come up here. Cool. I'm cool with buying this and selling this. It doesn't matter, right? But my ideal scenario would be, you know what I'm saying, in a perfect world, if the markets, do something, I'd like to sell it right here towards down here and buy it down here. I would also love for the market to come inside of this reaccumulation. We came inside of it, right, and we hit this high here, but this 4 hour slingshot candle right here is where I would love for the market, because this area here was the last sell to buy before we even got out of this whole reaccumulation. So I mean, I'm more inclined to come down here. If it doesn't come down here, then it's all right. That means that this enough was mitigation for them. But we'll only know if this was enough mitigation if these highs begin to break, because they're not gonna break these highs and spend this much money to go to the upside if they didn't get out of orders and mitigate whatever they had to down here. You understand what I'm saying? So we'll see what the markets want to do, man. But these are my two areas I'm looking at, here and here. Buy, sell, simple as that, and just continue playing like that. Same thing with your JPY. I feel like I'm repeating myself over and over again, man. Let's see. we had a demand here. I didn't mark out the structure, but I hope you guys can see it. It's from this low to this high. All right. So let's see. We have demand down here, right? We have this demand down here, and the market react inside of it with an accumulation. Cool. Only problem is that we did not tap into this demand area that I was looking at, which is okay, but it's still like, yeah, it's like it's on and off for me, because the problem is that we had this candle that came and tapped back into this area before we left. So this could very much be mitigated already, but I still have this area marked out as just in case. All right. Once this high is broken, then this is invalid. Okay. Once that high is broken, this is invalid, which it looks like it's gonna be broken, but I'll wait until it's actually broken. And because this is bearish still on the 4-hour, we still have this bearish structure going. I'll be looking for sales here. All right, sales here first. If we end up, breaking this area, create a reaccumulation, buy the reaccumulation till up here, and then we'll just continue playing with the market after that. All right. Same thing that happened with the other JPY pairs. Right, we have this spring here. The market just didn't come down here, right? This is where I was looking for buys. I believe it was a clean 31-minute candle. Yeah, here it is. The sell to buy. I was looking for buys here, and the market just said forget that. All right, so it is what it is, man. And we ended up reaccumulating. I believe 57-minute. And then here's the candle. Why? This is why I want the market to touch this area, because of this candle right here. This candle is just too clean, right? This candle is like clear sponsor candle. So that's why I was more inclined for it to come down here. But, I mean, hey, it is what it is, dog. All right, Gpchf. I mean, this looks pretty simple. We accumulated down here. All these accumulations that happened last week, bro. We accumulated down here. And basically what I'm looking for is for a sale right here in this 1-hour point of interest. Market is bearish, as you guys can tell. We got sell, 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 came back and reacted inside this demand, the supply, sold, broke order flow, came back, reacted inside of this supply, sold, broke this entire 1-hour structure. Now 1-hour structure from this side to this low, and we're coming back into this premium pricing. So I'm looking for a sell here and then back to the downside. Targets, overall targets is down here because there is nothing here for us to react off of, literally. Like, there is no actual demand here, so I see no reason for the market to just hold this right here. So this is what I'll be looking for. Now if this ends up breaking, then you already know the rule. Look for that reaccumulation, buy it, continue to the upside. Simple as that. AUD/USD. Okay. AUD/USD don't look that bad. Go to the high time frame real quick. Okay. I mean, we all can clearly see this reaccumulation here, right? So the market did not come. It's inside of here, but it's not inside of the areas. I wanted to at least hit this right here. Either this right here, or we could come down into this, because this was our last kind of sell to buy, right? Let me see. If this is sufficient enough for the banks, then the market would just continue to upside. Always remember that. If like you don't know if the area is mitigated or not, if the banks are breaking structure back towards the other way and is gone, then it was sufficient. They have no reason to come down there, right? Because they're not gonna waste money. They're not gonna waste time and money doing that. All right, just know that. So until then, I'm looking for distribution inside this redistribution. That's why I have this line crossed out. I really should put an alert here. I'm putting an alert down here though. I like this area better. I'm gonna explain why I like this area, but I'm looking for a distribution here, and I'm looking for buys here. It's simple, like sell, buy, right? So main reason I'm looking for buys here is because if we go down to like order flow type, right? If we go to order flow, this is a accumulation that's happening here. You can see we're rounding off, right? But one thing I'd never seen here was a test of this area, right? This was our last big sell to buy, right? But inside this other buy, we had this little consolidation. This little consolidation is just a reaccumulation. So inside this reaccumulation, this is the little area that caused the break of this high, causing the whole structure to shift back towards the upside and causing the whole order flow to shift, correct? So this is the area where we know that they sold to buy. This is the area that where they put their money in. So if they're going to mitigate anywhere, it's going to be down here, and there's imbalance as well that, you know, helps us more. So this is the area that I'm looking for, and why I chose this redistribution is because this area, they reacted inside of this low before they continue down. Simple as that. You really got to just watch the market, see where the demand is, where are they reacting, where are they mitigating, why are they mitigating there, and then what caused this to become supply, what caused this to become demand, and what caused this to shift from supply to demand. As simple as that, and you just trade in those areas. Look for those lower time frame schematics, look for those lower time frame confirmations, trade in those areas, and continue to structure wherever they want it to go. Just trade, like that's what it means to trade with the banks. You know, look for the demand, look for their supply areas, right? So that's basically what I'm looking for. I mean, and yes, you can trade lower time frame too. You can scalp. Scalping is not my thing. I'm not really good at scalping. I'm practicing it, but hey, you can scalp if you want, right? So I mean, it's really your preference. I like to do these little intraday plays and like to do a little intraday. So that's really my style. But GU. All right. So I don't know if I'm not 100% sure if I did, but I'm going to go over it here. We had this reaccumulation. This is our shakeout of the reaccumulation. One thing I realized was this shakeout right here was never touched. This market came down here, but we never touched the actual shakeout that drove us to the downside. We created liquidity here, right? So now the market came and touched the shakeout, taking out liquidity as well. We did not break the shakeout, right? So we reacting inside of here. The only thing I don't like about this reaction is we didn't accumulate or anything. We just kind of came down here, you know, consolidate a little bit and then move. All right. So we are still bearish on the 1 hour. This high, this is a significant high. That's why I have this little dotted line here, is because if this high breaks, if this high is broken, we're going to break this high. We're going to come up here, and then we're probably going to come over here. We don't know, right? But I just know for sure if this high breaks, then we're coming right here. Okay, so I'm watching out for that. I had this 1 hour point of interest here that I'll be looking for sales inside this area. I'll be looking for sales to either, you know, make a completely new low or come fill this imbalance, get an accumulation back here, and then continue to the upside. Either way, right? So that's what I'm looking for in GU. Only thing I'd say is don't complicate your trading. You know, go over your scenarios. One thing I don't see people doing, like, you know, new beginners doing, is they don't go over their scenarios. Like, you'd say, okay, I think the market's going to buy. What if the market sells? Then what are you going to do, right? Because the market goes up and down, and it goes sideways. But if you say the market's going up, what are you going to do if it goes down? You have to have a plan for the market, whichever way it goes, right? That's how you know, become a better trader. You know, you can buy and sell at the same time. You can buy it here and you can sell it there. So you're not stuck in one position. You don't always want to be stuck in that, oh, I'm just going to buy position, because then the market's going to sell and then you're not going to trade. You don't know what to do. So always try to play both sides of the market, right? You don't, there's no competition here. There's like, you're not forced. You can trade either way you want. You're not forced to just keep buying. You're not forced to keep selling. Trade the market. You have, like, you could go anywhere, like, literally. So we already went over AJPY. So one thing I want to go over before I end this is DXY. DXY. Okay. DXY, man. Ooh. This thing has been crazy. But hold on. This is our new low. All right. So hold on. This doesn't look bad. All right. I haven't looked at this in a while, but what I'm seeing is we're getting this 3-chart move here. 1, 2, 3. We broke the low, right? And we're coming erect inside this area. Now, one thing I know about this is because we kept these lows so intact, this could just be a liquidity grab to reaccumulate, right? To go back to the upside. That is potentially what I'm seeing here. That's not what I want to happen, right? I hope that doesn't happen, but that's what we're faced with right now. But until that happens, we're going to expect us to sell from here. Now, if we do sell from here, right, we do sell from this area, I want to see this low get broken. This low I want to see get broken, and then I know we'll take out this low, and we'll take out these equal lows here, possibly coming inside this reaccumulation, right? This is the main area I want to see this market come down to. I want to see there, so I come down into this reaccumulation down here. So we have equal lows here, we have imbalance down here, and then we have this 3-job move, but it could be reaccumulation. The only reason I'm saying that is because these lows was kept intact and we didn't liquidate these lows, so it could be a reason for them to sell and liquidate all these lows and then just to go back to the upside. That could be the reason, because most of the time when I see price do this kind of pattern here where it just do that, it's just down, back up like this. It's just like a regular reaccumulation. It's like a regular pattern, but sometimes it could be a distro. So we'll see. Like, we'll see. We're just gonna play with the market, see what it does, and we're just gonna see. All right. Hey, so you guys, you know, follow your plan. Be careful, man. These markets are not like, you know, they're not as easy as it would seem. You know what I'm saying? The markets has been very difficult lately. A lot of manipulations out here. So I mean, you guys, don't trade if you don't have to. Like, if you don't see your plan, you don't see your setup, man, don't even try to force yourself to trade, dog. That's what I've been doing. So you guys just, hey, be careful in these markets and follow your plan. All right. So the Discord will be coming soon. I'm trying to launch it by next month. Sometime next month, either the beginning next month or the middle or the end, sometime during next month. I'm just trying to set up everything, get everything set up for you guys, and I'll make a video about it, going what's everything in it, and, you know, prices and all of that. The price is gonna be fair. It's not gonna be nothing crazy. I believe it's just a one-time price that I'm gonna do. Like, you join and you're in forever. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I feel like that's the fairest thing. I don't like doing that monthly thing. You know, that's just too much, man. So, one-time price, and then you're in. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what I'm gonna do with that. And, you know, you guys just be careful, stay safe, you know. And that's it. That's all I can say. You guys have a good day.